J.J. Abrams, the writer and director of Star Wars Episode 9, is set to bring in, of course, new adventures of Kylo Ren, Rey, and other characters in this film. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really wondering about when it comes to this movie is exactly what the adventures will consist of when it comes to Kylo Ren and Rey, and exactly how these characters will be used on the big screen by Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, when it comes to one of the set designs that will involve a sequence with Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, and John Boyega, it's a whole entire sequence that will involve all of the major characters in this film. Specifically, Daisy Ridley is set to shoot a sequence during the month of January of what's being described as an on-foot chase seen through an exotic city on a new world. The set will involve dozens of extras dressed as new creatures created by Abrams and crew. It's said to be one of the biggest Star Wars sets in history and will be one of the big scenes during the second act of the film. Daisy will be using a blaster and a lightsaber against some stormtroopers, chasing her throughout some buildings as well. It's also said to involve Oscar Isaac and Poe Dameron on a side mission with Rose to meet a very important figure in the film. The set is said to use a lot of rain machines to create the effect of a storm over the exotic city. Another sequence will involve Kylo Ren and his new Red Stormtroopers infiltrating a Resistance base. These troopers hold large blaster rifles that are automatic and fire blue lasers. The set design is described as the interior of a base that looks similar to the Yavin base, full of starfighters and important technology for the Resistance to reach out to the galaxy. So I wanted to go over a couple of parts about this that really is piquing my interest for the adventures of Kylo Ren, Rey, Poe, and Finn. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams will actually have the opportunity to deliver this to the fans when it comes to teamwork between both Rey, Finn, and Poe. Something that we have never seen in the sequel trilogy as of yet, and honestly, I think that's an element of the sequel trilogy that, well, really needed to be present in both The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. Now, if we look at Episode 9, I want to go over this set that is described as the biggest set for the Star Wars films in history. Now, this lines directly up with what Kevin Smith had to say a couple of weeks ago on Good Morning America when he went out on the set of Star Wars Episode 9 and described it, at least in his eyes, in his point of view, as the biggest set that he has ever seen in his life. Could this very well be the same exact set that he was talking about, where this one is going to be the biggest set that will be used in a Star Wars film in history? Now, this set is actually described as an exotic city. Now, this exotic city, I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is also yet another original idea by Abrams that never made it to the final cut for The Force Awakens. So this is yet another planet and/or city that is coming into play here for Star Wars Episode 9. Now, could this be the extension of the jungle world that we have actually been talking about for nearly 6 months now? It's very possible for sure. Now, this on-foot chase sequence sounds very similar to what we got on the planet Jakku in The Force Awakens between Rey, Finn, and the TIE fighters, etc. Now, what I like about that is because the on-foot chase sequences are something that is a big thing in the sequel trilogy. Now, we've seen many versions of it, and now it's going to be one for Rey. So this exotic city, you know, it seems like it's going to be a very interesting take for a Star Wars film and a very interesting angle for the Star Wars franchise, with the angle, alright, of this actual sequence also involving both Finn, Poe, and Rose on a mission to actually meet a very important figure in the plot of this film. Now, could this actually line directly up with the big rumor about Rada the Hutt actually being a part of this movie? So, this base is actually described as a sequence where Adam Driver and a couple of extras dressed as Red Stormtroopers will be infiltrating this structure that holds a lot of important intel for the Resistance and, of course, holds a lot of their infantry and starfighters. So, I think that this also lines up with what we heard, geez, like past summer or so. I believe it was like maybe May or June or something around those lines. We heard about a temple coming back into Episode 9 that's very similar to that of Yavin. Could this very well be the same exact set that we heard about months and months ago, and what actually led us to believe that maybe Yavin was coming back into play here for episode 9. Now, the last thing that I do want to go over is, of course, the whole entire sequence here that involves, an adventure between Rey, Poe, Finn, Rose, Kylo Ren, and his new elite troopers, his new Red Storm troopers. I think that J.J. Abrams is just really trying to expand and offer something that was missing in the sequel trilogy. If you look at The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, we never got the 3 characters working together as a team. And that is one thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and I'm very happy to hear that that will be an actual plot element in episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.